How does a man who trains like this,
I mean, he's got a weird image. He's out there throwing kicks at trees, wraps a tree up in a foam pad and starts punching it and kicking it.
become a UFC champion? A fighting style that goes against the norm, disordered and wild, but beneath the chaos, a warrior dedicated to the bushido code, a will of iron matched only by his skills. This is how Jiri Prochazka conquered the UFC.
I'm coming!
There it is! Jiri
For Jiri Prochazka, a life of battle was always his calling. A heart that yearned for the thrill of the fight. Early hardship would see him go down the warrior's path. But without proper direction, his hunger would see him turn to petty duels, not as a gladiator, but a partying hooligan.
Came from a small village, Osteradice, which is around 2,000 people. I was like a crazy guy who likes to street fight.
From one village where was a lot of like good guys. We are still like really crazy.
Like many people are told, like I have many fights on the street. You find somebody who wants the same. Okay, let's go. T-shirts off. Let's go. Let's start.
I was a young guy who's tried to challenge everything around himself. Everything, every man, every situation, everywhere. I'm better than this.
Long-term health consequences aside, joining in on these brawls was sending him down the wrong path, a darker one, away from a life of respect and honor. Eventually, though, fate would grant him a chance, igniting a new spark inside. Enamored with the martial arts and classic Hollywood movies, as well as the escapades of one Fedor Emelianenko, Prochazka would trade a life of underground scrapping for one of fighting nobility.
Martial arts helped me to be more calm.
Would you say that fighting in the street is what brought you to martial arts? That's what made you want to train?
The young wild guy who had a lot of energy, and martial arts gave me the place where to give it.
I like the beauty of the martial arts, the beautiful movements, beautiful punches, technique, to be the master in this job.
Mixed martial arts had finally given Prochazka a purpose, a way to sate his desires and earn money whilst doing it. But he lacked true direction, a true path to believe in and follow. And after a submission loss on the regional scene, one action would change his life forever.
My coach gave me the Book of 5 Rings. It's a way of the warrior from the Japanese culture.
My life's changed a lot. There is the rules of the samurai, bushido, moral code.
Something which I can use for myself, like for a person in daily situation.
It's not just the way of mastery in the martial arts, but in every part of the life.
Within Musashi's teachings for life and battle, Jiri would find the answers he never knew he needed. The Book of 5 Rings contains the 5 elements for war: earth, wind, fire, water, and void. Each a manual of technique and philosophy. The principles within would resonate with those willing enough to apply them. Written by a master swordsman in an era gone by, Prochazka would apply these teachings to a modern fighting world and, more importantly, himself. The Book of 5 Rings was his Bible, his Torah, his Quran, and with this newfound knowledge, he had been reborn.
Naskočené koleno, další 2 údery na zemi a je konec. Prodloužil a teď protnul svého soupeře a Gluk. Ten zkusil nastoupit do takedownu, ale naskočené koleno. Fantastický zvedá. Underneath the armpit, dangerous stuff here. This could be it, it's over.
Effectively reborn, emboldened by these texts, Prochazka had gone from a hungry but raw prospect to a bona fide fighting legend without stepping into the UFC's octagon. 22 fights after that change in mindset, 21 victories, 20 of them via finish. In mastering the body and mind, he had become a uniquely shaped weapon that few could overcome and none could replicate. Champion of Ryzen, yes, but he hungered for more, not for belts, money, nor fame, but to perfect his craft and test his might against the world's greatest warriors. And to do that, there was only one path left to take.
Jiri Prochazka!
Jiri only has bad intentions. There's heat on everything.
This man's crazy, but I love it.
Oh, window here for Prochazka.
Bro, that samurai spirit, bro, it's not a facade.
Went for the flying knee. Oh, there it is! Jiri Prochazka! Baby boy!
I like the fighting, but I don't like to hurt people. But that's my way. The quick way to the title.
Being matched with the former title challenger for your UFC debut was telling of the company's expectations. Prochazka's credentialed background had acted as a launchpad for his endeavors under the UFC's banner, but would equally come with added pressures. In a fighting era full of showmen and those focused on the dollar rather than the way of the fist, Jiri seek balance amongst the temptations of the high life.
I'm motivated by mastery, not the belt, not the victories, money, nice car or whatever. For me, it's most important what I can do for that win.
Have a big car, have a big house, have a great girl, all the things what you ever want. It was just something what was bad inside you and it's trying to go out.
As the showman shtick grew tiring in the eyes of spectators, Prochazka's humble lifestyle and fighting unorthodoxy was a welcome change. And with just one UFC fight to his name, BJP had become a fan favorite. When the skills matched the notoriety, boons from the UFC brass are always gifted. Jiri's reward was a surefire title eliminator against the infamous Dominic Reyes. Everything Jiri was not: organized, patient, cerebral on the feet. His skill set had once led him to a duel with John Bones Jones, a bout many say to this day was his to win. This duel, a clash of contrasting styles, with sadly no crowd there to witness. Jiri's mindset and doctrines had led him to this very moment, and no one was going to stop him.
We are set to go for this main event. Jiri Prochazka. Oh! A right cross that wobbled Reyes.
I just want to show the beauty of the art, but sometimes I go very quickly for that.
Toughness shown on each side. Spinning elbow! Wow! Jiri Prochazka!
Spinning elbow puts him face first into the octagon.
Jiri Prochazka!
The stance, the finish, the hair. Prochazka had gone from fan favorite to superstar overnight. A knockout that wasn't just viral, but served as a sobering callback to the warriors of old. His mantras, mentality, and fight style had resonated with the masses who were watching from home. And as the world finally opened up in the wake of COVID lockdowns, the fighting fans across the world waited eagerly for his next bout. And with that newfound fame, it would be a title shot granted. Singapore UFC 275 main event. Standing between him and the top of the mountain, an unexpected king. But no championship mantle in MMA is ever undeserved.
Oh, it's attacked his neck! Oh my god! Oh, they're together! Glover Teixeira breaks through at 42! Wow. He's the undisputed light heavyweight champion!
There Jiri was in the crowd. Camera pans to him. Not only do I hope that Jiri, not only do I predict Jiri, it should be Jiri. Absolutely.
The light heavyweight title is up for grabs as Jiri Prochazka tries to take the title from Glover Teixeira.
He doesn't throw caution to the wind. It's calculated risk. He's got a very creative style.
Jiri's got to stay standing because if he's upright, he's as dangerous as anyone. But if you're on the Glover Teixeira, especially early, you're in trouble.
If Glover starts getting him down, wearing him out, it's going to get rough for Jiri.
Yeah, because
Glover's a vet.
Yeah, and he's a good wrestler.
He's a unique fighter, unpredictable. And me, with my experience, man, I like the challenge. I want to prove to everybody, all you guys, all the fans, and most of all myself.
I will keep the pressure till the end, but be patient in that because he know how to reverse every situation. For his style, I have to be very, very 100% precision.
Fifth and final round, standing ovation in Singapore. 5 minutes or less to decide the undisputed UFC Light Heavyweight Championship.
I mean, I love this fight.
And this is just your review.
Oh! Massive right from Teixeira! Prochazka! He's going to try to survive!
Big mistake! Why would you do that?
I felt the neck, it was tight, but I jumped too soon, maybe. It was right there in a moment.
You have to take what the moment gave you. He had a free neck, so I took that.
Glover has made some technical mistakes tonight.
Correct. He's going in.
He tapped? No way! No fucking way!
The Czech Republic has got one! Jiri Prochazka!
A back and forth battle that not just deserves the fan plaudits of those in the arena, but the entire fighting world. Calling it the greatest fight in the sport's history is not a term I would ever use lightly, but here I think it's most fitting. This may be Jiri's story, and it may have been his belt once the night was won, but both men deserve the respect of all forevermore.
I think Glover was 30 seconds away from not only an incredible fight, that's the greatest light heavyweight fight I've ever seen. Any of you like to disagree? I've seen some good ones.
It was up and down and up and down. Glover Teixeira was winning the fight with 28 seconds left in round number 5 to retain and get submitted, but it had everything.
I was prepared, like I said, to end it first round or 5th round. Doesn't matter. It is. I'm the champ. Yeah.
The top of the mountain. Confirmation that in carving his own path, attempting to master his own unique style, Jiri had done things his way, the right way. New horizons now set, new challenges awaited. Prochazka was the king, ready for his next opponent.
This is a breaking story just happening right now. Jiri Prochazka at UFC 282 was supposed to defend the belt against Glover Teixeira, a rematch of their fight earlier in the year in Singapore. Well, it's not happening. Jiri has suffered a very, very serious injury.
Said to be the worst that I've ever seen. Allegedly, that's a quote from the doctor that looked at him.
The shoulder got wrecked in a standard wrestling accident type of thing. He's going to have serious surgery, and that'll of course require extensive rehab.
And as a consequence of that, he has vacated the belt.
Well, it's interesting that he did decide to give up his title. He could have held on to it and they could have had an interim title. I could imagine the thought process behind it. Like, you want to be noble, but you got to take care of your money, bro. You got to take care of your money. I mean, how many world title fights you get?
I mean, a lot of people would not do that. The way he done that, that shows what a warrior he is and the mentality he's got.
I have to say sorry to Glover, and after I will be back, I will come for that title and more. Because my targets are higher than just a title. I'll be back. Thank you.
MMA is a volatile game, but even someone as mentally resolute as Jiri would struggle to prepare for such an outcome. Shattering his shoulder in nothing more than a freak accident, it was not the lost prospects of a championship reign that weighed heavy, but the inability to compete, to train, to be the best. Staying true to his principles, Musashi's teachings, Jiri would vacate the throne honorably, leaving the division summit so soon as he had reached it. Within such trials, though, a new challenge for Prochazka to relish. Not mastery of the physical, but the mental outside of the octagon. With no violence or sport to sate him on the sidelines, he would need to learn to cope fully without such vices. In his absence, the belt had changed hands through various means, yet somehow as Jiri finally made his return, it lay vacant once again. Of course, to claim it, he would need a dance partner of equal measure and skill, and across from him come UFC 295 would be the sport's new star, the man with the hands of stone.
He's got something weird where he hits guys, they look confused.
Alex Pereira's status as a fighting great needs little introduction. Just like Jiri, he had walked the path of glory outside of the UFC before fighting under its banner and claiming the strap. A student under the man Jiri had bested meant their fates were completely intertwined. It was destiny. The mental fortification achieved during Jiri's time out meant Pereira's mental attempts would do little. It was a battle to be won solely in the hallowed halls of MSG, striker versus striker, samurai versus tribal warrior. A tale fit for ancient scriptures, one to be retold years later around fading campfires. But it was here in the modern era that the two men would make their mark.
Look at this stare down.
Intensity.
Two stoic, intense athletes.
For my money, this is the best stare down in the history of the sport.
Yeah, it's all about that, because there is no opponent. There is just this moment. I'm everywhere.
Early takedown for Prochazka.
This is not where Pereira wants to be. Anything they teach. Look at that.
Oh, nice job by Jiri. That's a big right hand. He's going to do it. Welcome to the history books. And new UFC light heavyweight champion,
It's like a matter of time before you get.
Imagine that coming back after a crazy shoulder surgery, just to get knocked out.
It's just the way it is.
Hello everyone. I just want to say to all of you, thank you for your support. What happened. I accept that. Watch me now. I'll be back.
The 13-fight winning streak across 6 years unceremoniously snapped by the man with the hands of stone. That long road to recovery, all built to that moment, and yet the samurai was slain. Loss was a feeling long forgotten, and these wounds were fresh. But Prochazka's mind was prepared better than most, and the only path forward was to cull any weaknesses in the quest for gold. Jiri's time with the belt may have been short-lived, but his draw power hadn't ever faltered, and the hunger for competition still remained. Paired with the admirable striker Aleksandar Rakic on the sport's biggest ever card, gracing UFC 300 wasn't just an opportunity to shine on the big stage, it was a chance to remind everyone, and more importantly himself, of what he was capable of.
I said he's a fake samurai. You know, you cannot become a samurai after just reading a book. If you are a samurai, you need to live this for a long time and not for the last 2-3 years.
Aleksandar is talking too much. Like I said, he's talking too much. He don't know me, who I am, where I am able to go, how through I can go to take a win. He will know me in the cage.
300. Aleksandar Rakic taking on the former hunted at 205 pounds, Jiri Prochazka.
That was Jiri's first big moment. Let's see what that does to Alexander. See, there it is. He stung him. He stung him. And then, that's a big right hand. He hurt him bad.
Rakic nearly out on his feet. Oh, my goodness. Pressure.
Prochazka.
Oh, Rakic lands down, but then he slows down.
Jiri Prochazka, boy. He's trying to get up with it.
Talks about me like I'm not samurai. That's true. I'm not a samurai. I'm a guy from Czech Republic, but we all need to live and be inspired by something. And these samurai ideas is something what's inside me. And no matter who will win tonight in the main event, I want to face the champion.
Dispatching Rakic like that was impressive, but not enough to warrant another shot at Poatan. In usual circumstances, more was needed, but in a game such as this, chances can arrive from nothing. And when the Notorious failed to make the walk for 303, the event was left reeling, without a blockbuster main event to helm it. And if there was ever two men of rivaling star power to call on short notice, BJP and Poatan were the perfect pair.
Conor McGregor is out of his fight with Michael Chandler at UFC 303, and the new main event is Alex Pereira versus Jiri Prochazka 2.
Every fight is different. Rematches don't always go down the same way, and that will be a tremendous fight.
Bro, his spirit. You know what Jiri said about the whole juju thing? Like that's real.
Everybody knows he's working with some shamanics, with some shamans.
Everybody knows that, and he's doing these rituals before the fight. And I think Alex can't fight without that. Let the higher power be there in the cage to see who's the best in the world.
Genuine belief in black magic, or simply theatrics to sell the fight. Jiri's principles lead me to believe the former. Haunted by that last fateful duel at 295, it was apparent that the unexpected bout, a lack of time to prepare, had left Prochazka's mental state worse for wear. He was entering the cage mentally fractured and physically subpar, but the greats of this game, they make no excuses.
For him, I know he talk a lot about his spirituality, just so he knows, you know what I mean, the same God that blesses us is the one that protects us, and I pray a lot for him and for me to be well after this fight.
A já tam nemám žádný jako nějaký záporný emoce vůbec. Spíš prostě jenom mi to ukazuje, že jsem se trošku vzdálil té své cestě, tomu dosahování mistrovství, které mě dává prostě smysl největší.
Two losses is one thing, but twice to the same man, an outcome that has broken men in the past. For Prochazka to return to the top, the cold hard reality had presented itself. He would have to be reborn, drastically change and adapt the unique style that he had honed for so many years.
And when you go through a loss, like the losses to Pereira, what is your process like of like evaluating what went wrong and how to change things?
First time in my life I realized that, man, it was something what I didn't experience yet. That time I really realized how powerful the meditation and the true self-talking, how the true meditation look like.
A fight with Jamal Hill was long overdue. The man who once took his vacated throne, fate and the MMA gods' unpredictability had left their paths uncrossed till now. Another striker, cerebral and more calculated than the Czech, but Jiri could bring the dog out of any man. The winner of this bout likely penned in for another shot at the belt, an accolade of course that meant little to Prochazka. And for though his purpose lay in improving the mind, body and soul, perfecting them, and for this duel he was fighting for something far bigger, someone else.
His hair was inspired by Ashley. That girl, she's fighting with cancer. She will come tomorrow, and this is my showing the solidarity, because it's about the sending the good energy.
I wanted to change my hair before, so this is like to showing to the world we are just one part, to be really connected, especially in this age, to show that the martial arts have the biggest power to connect the people and build the strongest connections.
And how much money are you donating?
$50,000, something like that, more.
You're gonna donate $50,000. I'll match the $50,000. 100,000.
This is the right time to do that, do something good. And she inspired me by that she did that in my last fight. So here I am. Let's go for that.
Ashley's story provided a sobering perspective. For all of Jiri's tribulations in life, she was fighting the real battle. Until now, he had been fighting to achieve total harmony inside, but now he was emboldened by this new resolve. Shaving his own head wasn't just showing solidarity with his new friend, it represented transition, his departure from the Jiri of old. And at UFC 311, he would finalize that vision.
Oh my God, Jiri fucking dropped him back! Big crowd strikes here! That's it! He will do it! Jiri Prochazka!
The broadcast team made a comment in that first round after the first couple exchanges that your hands were kind of dropping again.
I had in the first round, hands down. Fuck them. I worked on that so much.
It was in many ways the performance that showed the Prochazka we had all fell in love with, unpredictable and wild. And yet the evolution was there, measured just like the man who felled him. Elusive with his footwork, more defensively sound in every aspect. He had done it for himself, but more importantly, he had done it for her. And whatever the future holds for the Czech samurai, that win represented total fulfillment. Greater than that legendary title win and the many bouts before, a purpose found not just in the way of the fist, but something more.